Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm here to deck profile my Dogmatika hero build that I've been kind of messing around with. It's definitely more of a for fun build. I have been playing it at locals for a while, but my locals has been playing a lot of trap decks and this deck struggles greatly against it. So jumping into the deck profile, I am playing triple Vion. This is like the best starter. You can 2-card combo your way into at least a Schism with the Dogmatika effects plus follow-ups with like a Miracle Fusion and stuff for the following turn, and that's just without extenders, so you can potentially do a lot more cool things. And then 2 Shadow Mists to dump off of Ion. Usually searches the Liquid Soldier in this deck build, or sometimes the Stratos. Just depends on the situation. Speaking of Stratos, playing 2 Stratoses. I was playing 3, but I felt it clogged the hand too much seeing multiples, and Vion was the better starter anyway. And then we're playing 1 Liquid Soldier that, as I mentioned, is what our primary search target is to make Sunrise. And then I'm playing 1 Solid Soldier, which is another hero extender, which is also a warrior extender, which is slightly relevant. And just having 2 monsters on board is helpful. We basically never get the send to graveyard effect from field, but it is cool and it can do something given the right situation, but generally you just don't use it. 1 Honest Neos, since it helps you run over boards and stuff and protect your boards from battle. Double Malicious helps with the extensions, plus if you just draw Fusion Destiny, you just can make the Dark Law with that 1 card. And 1 Dynatag to make our Dystopias gain the attack. And then playing 1 Celestial, the last Destiny hero, so we can draw as another follow-up play. And then I'm playing 1 Ferris, 1 Increase. These cards do lock us, so we try not to go into them unless we have to, and it's like our last resort option. Worst case is Ferris just becomes a discard 1 to special itself, and then count as an extender in that sense and get rid of a potentially dead card, or like Shadow Mist, or the Malicious to the graveyard to extend. Playing triple Flint Ladies. This card helps you extend further and get your on-summon effect triggers, so you can special Vion or Shadow Mist to get those on-summon effects off. It's really cool. Usually summon off Isold or the hand effect just to have the second body to make the Isold. Dogmatika engine is 1 of each. This searches either the 2 depending on the situation you're in. Usually you're searching Fleur, but if you need to search the Maximus and you can make the Maximus to get access to your Schism, you will do so. 2 hand traps for our crossout targets in the main deck. Moving on to our spell and trap lineup, we have the triple mash change to make Dark Law and extend for OTKs and stuff. Then our searchers, 2 E-calls and a Rhoda. Rhoda really nice to search the Vision Hero Vions. Trip 1 Dear Servants because it's what gets us to our Dogmatika engine, and it also dumps to get you the app clone engraved to get to the Schism. Triple Fusion Destinies, since it's a 1 card Dark Law, it's a great extender or a great follow-up to like getting the Beard and stuff. It's not a bad card to end on as a worst case scenario, or even just a win more scenario. The Miracle Fusion and Polymerization, Durandal, 2 copies. 3 was just too bricky for me, even though it is a 50 card deck. It still was a card I saw too often that I did not need to see, and it is there just to search and be dumped off of Isold for your Flint Ladies. And then, as I mentioned, we're playing crossouts because this deck loses to Droll and Lockbird like just about any hero deck would, and also Nibiru. So we do play the crossouts, Nibiru sided, and then 1 Called by the Grave as another way to stop hand traps, and then 2 Tactics Talents, which are if you get hand trapped or if you just get interrupted by a monster effect, you can still do something and try to follow up. Because my locals, as I mentioned, has a lot of back row, and even more so than normal with all the Eldritch running around, and there was already an established Mind player. I am playing 2 Cyclones in the main deck. I really don't want to play those, but I definitely have to. 1 Imperm as another target for Crossout, and 1 Schism. which dump and search app clone stuff with that. So jumping into our extra deck, we have the 1 extra hero Cross Crusader. Definitely not used immediately most of the time unless you're stuck in the standard hero play, since you can only special summon monsters that are heroes the turn you summon it. So most of the time you can't actually summon it. And then the Isolde, as I mentioned, is your go-to link to. You basically special your Flint Lady, and then you can have the link monster in grave if you go into Cross Sheep right after, using this and the monster you summon if you want to summon Maximus. If not, you can go into something like the 1 Appaloosa I play if you summon enough monsters, or just to deck thin with the Isolde and the Search, and then you can go into Verte. Verte is just here in case you have no better plays. You can make the link 2 and then dump Fusion Destiny, and then at least you'll have something. And then Cross Sheep does some cheeky things with Schism and mass changes and stuff. Going into our fusions, we have a Sunrise. Sunrise is your Vion standard fusion right off the bat play, which searches your Miracle Fusion. 1 Absolute Zero because it is your Miracle Fusion target. And then we're playing Dystopia. Dystopia for the Dryadent Quick Effect and the Burn 1600. The 1 Dangerous to make the 1 card Masked Hero Dark Law play. 2 Dark Laws and a Blast. Blast because if you normal summon Stratos, you at least have a target in case it gets impermed or veilered. You can still get your search off, and then you'll have an extra deck monster on the field for your Dogmatika engine in case you have that in your hand already. We have Titaniclad and App Cologne that we send off of either Maximus or the Nadir Servant, and the window we make with the Schism. Going into our side deck now, 2 Lightning Storms. Again, we hate back row here. Feather Duster and Reboot. Playing a cheeky copy of Plasma to side, going against like combo decks to kind of sort of break the board, to have a Floodgate. I honestly would just consider dropping this for the 3rd Cyclone or something, because I really don't like playing against the back row with this deck, or even just Evenlies. That would also be something I'm considering here. 1 more Droll and Ash in case we actually want to draw it in the matchup and still have cross-out targets for ourselves. Same goes for this double Lancia, the double Nibiru. I do play the 3rd Talons in the side deck in case I know it's going to be live. Triple Dark Rulers to break boards. So I'm going to show the 2-card combo. This is actually way better as a 3-card combo, but it definitely does something as just a standard 2-card combo. I think I mentioned in the video that it ended on a better board than what I'm about to show you, but this is what you get for a normal summon Vion, dump Shadow Mist, search Liquid Soldier, banish Shadow Mist to search Poly. Then you, if you had another hero in hand, like a Stratos or something, this is where you could Poly and use the extra from hand, but since we don't, we have to use the field. And then we make our Sunrise, then chain 1 Liquid, chain 2 Sunrise, draw, or adding our Miracle Fusion, drawing 2, discarding 1, and then you can activate your Nadir Servant here. Then you dump your App Cologne, and then you add Ecclesia, and then you activate your App Cologne to add Schism, and you discard a card. And then you have Special Ecclesia to add your Fleur. So you have a Schism that you can set, a Fleur that can negate, and a Miracle Fusion to do a follow-up play if you Miracle Fuse your Liquid and possibly your Sunrise if it gets destroyed. Then I'll show you what it looks like with just the 1 extra hero monster. Okay, so we're back here with our same combo, just with 1 Honest Neos instead. So we do our standard Vion, dump Shadow Mist, get Liquid, banish Shadow Mist to add Poly. And then since we have a hero in hand, we can activate Poly with their hero and Liquid to do our standard guess we'll have a field center here just so we can show. And then we resolve chain 1, chain 2, add the Miracle Fusion, draw 2, discarding a card. Then we get to link 2 into Isold's effect, add a Stratos to hand, and then send 1 equip spell to special Flint Lady. We can link into Krashi. And then here we can activate our Nadir Servant, dumping App Cologne, adding Ecclesia. Then effective App Cologne, we'll add our Schism and we discard Stratos. Then we can special Ecclesia to add Fleur. So now, on your opponent's turn, you can set Schism, activate Schism, banish your Vion and App Cologne to special your Winda to a zone that cross sheet points to, and then you can special Stratos here if you want. Well, zone probably not there, but then you can search, add something else to your hand as a follow-up, or generally you're going to be using Fleur before you summon the Winda if you want to use Cross Sheep's effect, because you can only special once, but you could do it at a different point in the turn. But just to show what it looked like, this is what you end up getting with a Miracle Fusion to follow up with the Liquid Soldier, discarding and drawing. And then we have the 1 extra random draw that we got, and then we still had 2 more cards in hand after all of that, so we could have Disruption or just more follow-up cards. Alright, so that was the deck profile. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, other card choices I should be playing, tips, anything, I'd love to see it in the comments down below. I will catch you guys in the next video.